Hello, my lovely, lovely people. It's about time that I did a video on this in more depth because there are a lot of people that are not understanding this topic. And I need this to be prefaced with, if you do not understand, I am happy and grateful that you don't have the opportunity to understand. It means that you came from a loving home. It meant that the discipline and the boundaries and everything that were done in your home were from a kind and loving place. Not everybody got that. Not everybody received the bare minimum and more that they deserved. We are not out here cutting our parents off, cutting our family members off just for no reason. We aren't cutting them off because, oh, well, they were mean. Oh, they made us stay in because of a curfew. Oh, we weren't allowed to go XYZ. That's not what we are upset about. That's not why we are going no contact. That's not why we are cutting them out. That's not why. So I need you to listen closely. I need you to listen carefully, because a lot of us did not receive that amazingness that you did. We did not. A lot of us were raised on abuse. And if you refuse to see and acknowledge the abuse that we are trying to speak on, I am sorry to have to tell you, but you are enabling the people that abused us. Not all of us got loving, safe homes. We were in houses. Yes, we had four walls and a roof over our head. Yes, we had food on the table and clothes on our backs. It ended there. Yeah, we may have been granted a couple of things along the way, but let me tell you, there are some of us who the extracurriculars that we got to do were only because we were allowed to do them. We said, hey, we would like to play this sport. Well, nope, you're a girl. You can't play that, you'll get hurt. But I can go play this sport that I could still get equally hurt in. But my sibling can go and play that sport because they're a boy. Make that make sense. We're not out here just cutting people off willy-nilly just because we feel like it because it's a Thursday. That's not what we're doing. That is not what we're doing. The levels of abuse that a lot of us experienced are on the levels of domestic violence and narcissism. Yes, we understand the true understanding of narcissism to its core. We're not out here just randomly throwing the word around like some people like to do. We understand it on all of the levels. Because domestic abuse, domestic violence plays into narcissism for us. We did not get what y'all got. And those of us that are having to do this are extremely happy for you. We love that you got that. We feel like you are absolutely blessed to have got that. But what you need to understand is that we did not. We did not get that. We were told, oh, well, if they're mean to you, they like you. Which trained us to believe that when we're being abused and mistreated and there's toxic there, that's what we should go for. We aren't blaming our parents for the mistakes that we made. We're upset with our parents for allowing us to believe that was okay in the first place. We are upset and disgusted and disappointed that we were made to believe that these toxic traits and these abusive tactics were told to us that they were good and true and loving. We were shown and told that was how we were cared for. There is a difference. We're not out here being mad and upset and blaming our parents just because they got onto us and we got in trouble. That's not what we're saying. We were not safe in the confinements of our house because our houses were not homes. They weren't. They were not homes. They were houses. And let me tell you, some of us, our houses felt more like a prison than prison themselves, which is why a lot of us went out of our homes, our houses, whatever you want to call it. I called mine a house. But we went out of it and ended up getting into some trouble. We ended up following the wrong people because that's all we had to go off of. That's all we had to go off of. You can't sit there and tell someone that went through abuse and was literally bred on lies, on deception. There we go. My bad. Words. We were deceived. We were taught that good was bad and bad was good. That's what we were taught. So yes, we ended up with the wrong crowds. We ended up with the wrong people, because you can know something and not know it. Like, you can tell us all day long to our face, hey, the air outside, you can breathe it. You can take your helmet off. But I've been told that if I take this helmet off, I'll die. I have proof that I've been shown that if I take this helmet off, I will die. I can look you square in your face and see that you're not wearing a helmet. But for me and mine, we were told that if we removed that helmet, the box, that we would die. We were told that when we leave the house, you are to act a certain way. You are to speak a certain way. And you are not to disobey. Because if you did, you were dealt with at home. And being dealt with at home was abusive. It was mistreatment. And those same parents that we tried to bring this up to so that they would acknowledge and accept what they did and apologize for it and make corrections in those behaviors, it was excused away. It was turned around and told on us that it was us, that we deserved it. Or, well, no, there are no buts in apologies and accepting things. There are no buts. Absolutely not. No, we were children. We were teenagers. We did not deserve that. Those of us that were rebellious were actually going against the injustice in our homes and our households. Like, that's what we were doing. We weren't being rebellious to our parents. We were being rebellious to the injustice, the abuse, the toxicity of our house. There is a difference between those that were in loving homes and those of us that came from abusive households. There is a difference. So don't come to somebody who's being vulnerable with you and telling you, hey, this is the truth of how I was raised. This is the truth of my parents. If you excuse it, then you have already signed your way out the door. You have already signed your way out the door. Now you're on the side with the abuser. So now you're an enabler and possibly an abuser yourself. Because if you're sitting there excusing it, that means that you think that behavior is okay. And the behaviors that we experienced are not okay. The psychological damage that came with it is not okay. It has taken us years, decades, to unlearn and unprogram the brainwashing that was done to us. I'm a preacher's kid. I'm the oldest of my siblings. I was a parentified child. I had to walk on eggshells. I had to make sure that my parents' emotions were in check, because if I pissed them off and I didn't do what they said to do, which was not the right thing to do, they lived lies so that the public would see them in a different way. We got beat. I can't, even though I saw it, it doesn't mean that they acknowledge it, so I can't bring my siblings into it. I was beat. I was yelled at. I was belittled. I was threatened. I was called every name under the book. And a lot of the times it was in childhood where I did not deserve that at all. You don't ever deserve to be called names by your parents. Absolutely not. So when I finally got the courage to stand up and start saying things, I absolutely called my mother a bitch. I have called my father, my sperm donor, my whole entire life because he's an asshole. There's a difference. If you fit the word, it's no longer name calling. When you sign that dotted line, you are what you are. I'm not sorry about it because I didn't deserve that. And neither did anybody else that's going through this. We tried for years to get our parents to understand and to realize the damage that they did. We wanted to repair and reconnect so that we had our parents. No one wants to orphan themselves. Nobody chooses to orphan themselves unless it is the last possible option. So don't sit there and tell someone, oh, well, that's your dad. Oh, that's your mom. No, they weren't. They were not. They were not our mom. They were not our dad. They were our mother and our father, but they didn't do anything to deserve that title. They did everything to unearn that title, but they didn't do anything to deserve it. They didn't earn our respect. They earned our disrespect because they disrespected us continuously. We had no boundaries. We had no autonomy. We weren't even allowed to feel our emotions because we were told, well, if you're going to cry, we're going to give you something to cry about. We were not allowed to feel our emotions. And unfortunately, if you are in a domestic violence family or a narcissistic abuse family, you are raised backwards. So you're not allowed to have your own opinion. You're not allowed to have your own autonomy. You're not allowed to have anything unless they tell you what it is. You have to think like they do. You have to act like they do. Because if you fall out of line, other people might pay attention and notice. And then, oh, now you're the black sheep. Now you're the scapegoat because you're sitting there trying to tell the truth. But everything around you, it's like, well, you're lying because look at them. Look at them. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're saying. It's a facade. It's an act. They worked super, super hard to make sure that they fit that role. When behind closed doors, no the fuck they don't. No the fuck they don't. They have no emotion in their eyes. They can pull the emotion card, abso-fucking-lutely. They can pull it, but there's no true emotion. Their eyes are dead. There's no shine and light in their eyes. They're dull and dead. And I knew it about my father for the longest time, and it took me a while to realize it with my mother. How I was pinned against my siblings. How, oh, why can't you be more like this sibling? Why can't you be more like this sibling? Why can't you act like this? Why can't you do things like that? No. 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 So if you don't understand what we have gone through, consider yourself grateful, thankful, and blessed. But don't you dare sit there and tell them, oh, well, that's your... No, it was not. We didn't get that. We did not get that. So when someone is coming to you and they're telling you about an experience with their parent, or they're trying to explain to you their abuse that they endured, do not dismiss it. And if you find yourself dismissing it, be honest with yourself and them and just remove yourself. Because if you cannot wrap your head around it or even empathize with them, you're not a safe space. You are not a safe person for them to talk to, and you're most likely going to turn right around and go talk about it in a negative manner. And we don't need that. We don't deserve that. We've already gone through that. We've already gone through that. Yeah. Because in my life, I've experienced every level of abuse there is to have. Every level of abuse I have endured in my life. Every single one of them. No, not necessarily by my parents, but family unit, the whole family, absolutely. Absolutely. And I learned at a younger age, and even in my young adult life, that even if I bring something to my parents, it's not going to get reported. Nothing's going to be done about it. Nothing will be done about it. They'll take it in, but they won't do anything about it. Which is why I'm so proud of the person that I am now and the mom that I am now to my kid. Because I refuse to let it go any further. It ends with me. It ends with me. Those of us that were raised in that, it ends with us. It ends with us. So if you're in our face and you are excusing it, or you're trying to like get us to go back to them, or trying to like explain how great of a person these people are, no. It ends with us. Access denied at that point. Access fucking denied. No, absolutely not. We don't play that game over here. We thrive on life. We will not go back to death. We have died too many times to find who we truly are, for you to sit here and play in our face like that. If you want to excuse it, then you can go on to our abusers team. You can go be on their team, because we don't need you over here. We don't even need our parents anymore now. We've already tried, so now we don't need them. So you know what that means? We don't want them. Nope. If you can't be there for us when we need you, we no longer want you. And that is where I have found my strength to move forward. That's where I found my strength in getting up off the floor. I picked myself up. I picked up the pieces and I moved on my own, because I no longer needed them. So I no longer want them. They made their choices. They moved how they moved. They spoke the way that they spoke. And I decided to stand up for myself and speak a certain way back to them. So if you want to come to me and be like, oh, well, you should never talk to somebody like that, I will speak to my abusers in whatever way I feel like it, because they have unearned my kindness. They have unearned my respect. And when you step to me like that and you have abused me, you will get the meanest side of me possible, because I do not play, especially when my kid is involved. Absolutely not. I will be disrespectfully respectful. I will do it in a respectful manner, but don't test me. Don't step to me, because I won't allow it. I will stop it where it starts every fucking time. So if someone is coming to you and they're in that same spot, you will find yourself cut off too. Because we don't play anymore. We don't play like that. No, we do not. We didn't deserve it. We still don't deserve it. Nope. There is nothing that we could have ever done, especially if it started in childhood, like a very, very young child. There's nothing we did to deserve that. Yes, they had their own traumas. Yes, they had their own pain, but we did not deserve them taking it out on us. We did not deserve for them to take it out on us. There were other options out there. There were other resources that they could have used and taken. They had that opportunity. They chose not to. They chose not to. Oh, well, they worked with what they had. No, the fuck they didn't, because therapy was still a thing back then. Oh, well, therapy was frowned upon. It don't matter. You should never be okay with treating your child like that. You should never be okay with treating your child like that, or saying certain things like that to your child. Oh, well, I brought you into this world. I can take you out. Fucking do it then. Stop with the empty fucking threats, because all that does is do psychological damage. That you'll kill us. Words matter when you are a child. We are still developing. We do not have a fully developed brain yet. So watch what you say to your kids. Seriously, watch what you say to your kids. Because if you don't want your kid to one day wake the fuck up and say, you know what? I don't want to be any part of you. I don't want to be a part of you or your family. Then I suggest that you watch what you say and you make sure that you move accordingly, because you need to be doing to your kids what you wanted, needed, and deserved as a child, regardless of how you were raised, regardless of what was said to you as a child. You don't pass that on to your children. Period. Because first and foremost, they didn't ask to be here. You did what you did. You either wanted the child or you did the deed that caused you to have a child. So that was on you. That was not on the child. The child does not owe you shit. Children do not owe their parents anything. Now, later on in life, they can give back in thanks and gratitude for what you did for them, but don't you dare hold it over their fucking head. Don't you dare hold it over their fucking head, because they did not ask for this. And when they did come in the world, they needed you. The parents are the life support of the child. Their needs are yours to take care of. Their well-being is yours to take care of. Their safety and freedom and autonomy, that is your responsibility to take care of and protect. It is not the child's job or responsibility to make sure your emotions are in check. It is not the child's responsibility to make sure you are where you need to be. We are not here to raise our parents. We are not your parents. We are your children. You are our parent, not the other way around. So make sure that when you're having a conversation with someone or you overhear someone, that you speak accordingly, or you just don't say anything at all. Because remember, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. Because if you do end up saying something, we will fight back. And you're not going to like what we have to say. Because yes, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But we will stop you where you are. We will stop you where you stand, and we will knock you down a couple of notches because we know stuff that you do not. We have been through shit that would put you in the fucking grave. We have been through shit that would knock you off your ass. You want to sit up there on your high horse? Well, we will kneecap those horses. We will buckle you down because we have gone through shit that you wouldn't even know how to navigate through. So don't step to us. Don't come at us with this bullshit narrative that you're trying to follow, because we will dissipate that agenda. We will dissipate that narrative, and we will show you what is what. Because the truth that we have to speak, you ain't even ready for it because you don't even know a damn thing about it. So how about you stay in your lane and you let us do what we need to do, because we're staying in our lane by speaking our truth. So how about you stay in your lane until you understand and know exactly what it is that we've gone through. Because we need supporters, people that are going to be there to support us through this journey, because it's a hard fucking journey to go through. And a lot of us have to do it on our own with a very small few people to help us through it. That is all for today. I love you. You're doing a great ass job. Those of you that are going through the same journey, I love you. I see you. I hear you. You're doing great. One step at a time. We've got this. I love you.